So someone watches your video. Are you then retargeting that traffic, or what's the play in their organic versus paid ads and the social like video approach?
Yeah, so a lot of like a big misconception I think a lot of businesses have, it's like, it's part laziness, it's part just ignorance, just not, not ignorance, but just lack of education on how things work, right? It's like, oh, I want to run an ad funnel, or run an ad that's just going to fill my inbox with leads. That can work, but normally that doesn't work nearly as well as if when you have that content, that foundation of organic content, right? So you're just, you're sharing what you do, you're sharing those tips that I talked about, you're showing off your work, you're sharing, some things about your team and whatnot. Like that organic everyday content is your foundation. And then when you run ads, you're serving ads to, a warmer group of people that have already, seen some of your content in a lot of cases. So yeah, you can run a video as an ad, brand awareness ad. You can build up an audience of people that are watching 10 seconds, 30 seconds of that video. And then you can retarget them on, on social media as well with offers and different things like that. Retargeting has taken a little bit of a hit since the iOS 14 update, I guess last year it was, but it's still a very effective thing to do, right? Because think about this, Ed, like when's the last time you're scrolling through Facebook or Instagram or whatever, and you see an ad for something and you click on it, you fill out your info and you buy? Normally, I don't think I've ever done that, right? So, and we work in the contracting industry, like most of our clients are roofing contractors. You're talking about a $15,000 roof, usually at a minimum. So like, we try to tell our market, like, what makes you think that you can put out one ad and get people to put in their info and get people to give you 15 grand who have never heard of you? Like, you would never do that. Don't expect your prospects to do it. Don't expect your market to do that, right? Sure. So, people need to see your brand, your content, your offer, your messages, maybe up to a dozen times before they're like, all right, I trust these guys. I have a good feeling about these guys. I'm going to call them, and see what they're all about, so.
Yes. So something I heard you say years ago that always stuck with me was the idea of brand response marketing. Is that kind of getting them comfortable? So as opposed to direct response marketing, like you were referring to, show an ad, get a lead type deal, is brand response getting them comfortable with your brand first and then generating a lead? Is that like the theory behind it?
Yeah, it's so interesting. I haven't used that phrase in a while, but we still use that concept. So let me share by way of an example. We have a client in Mississippi, a roofing company, and they are starting out like pretty much this month, this time of year, at a new location in Alabama. And so, they have a tremendous brand in Mississippi where they are. They don't really have a brand at all in Alabama where they're going. And so they're running lead gen ads on Facebook and they're not doing very well. So it's like, you're just, no one knows who you are, right? So we had a meeting with them yesterday, and, one of the things we're going to recommend is you guys got to get on video to build your brand while you're trying to generate leads, right? You can do both at the same time. That's what that's all about, right? It's brand building, but it's some direct response. Like direct response is putting out an offer and asking for, having a call to action and getting a response, as that's what Dean Jackson is kind of famous for. And that's great if you kind of have that, that starving crowd or that warm audience. But if you don't have a warm audience, the people that know who you are, man, that's really, really hard. So yeah, brand building, like building your brand, getting people to know who you are, asking for the business. You can kind of do that in the same ad sometimes, or it might be a combination of some different types of content.
Got it. And so like, let's say in that example, you're going into a new market and you're making the suggestion for them to start watching content. Are they putting out the piece of content and just kind of organically seeing what happens? Or are they putting ad dollars behind each piece of content that goes and then retargeting that bucket that views and then that bucket that views? Like what's the approach there?
Yeah. So I mean, both, like, so putting out content on a daily basis, ideally daily. We'll challenge all of our clients to do that, at least, 5 days a week. Yep. So doing that, just the unpaid stuff. And then on the paid end of things, you're running some brand awareness videos, it could be about us, could be, video testimonials from clients and things like that. Building up an audience of people that are watching that. And then retargeting people who have watched, like I said, 10 seconds, 30 seconds of that video, or people have been to the website, or people have clicked on clicked on one of their ads before. So you're kind of like putting all those people that have interacted and engaged into a bucket, and then, you know, putting an offer in front of them. So it's like, that would be like a 2-step funnel. What you kind of, I guess, mentioned was like video, then retarget, then retarget, then retarget.
Yep.
You know, that can work. Like if you have a giant audience, like a national audience, but for most of our clients, they're local. Like by the time you get down to the 3rd or 4th step in that funnel, the audience size is so small that that's not going to work. So like
Got it.
normally it's like 2-step funnel that would be, you know, ideal.
Got it. Okay.